You did it. You did your first round of speed networking. Congrats. You made it happen. All right. Cool. So the reason why we like to do these speed networkings, they're good for energy. They're good for networking. They're good to make a friend. And we'll switch those up, in between trainings and in between breaks and whatnot. So we're excited to get things rolling. So I want to go ahead and do some formal introductions before we dig into some content and give you some keys to success and start training you. So these are some names I would encourage you to either take a screenshot of or write down, but these are some important people. I want to start off with our division manager, Mr. Andrew Evans, and then I'll introduce you to, I'll talk a little bit about myself after, a little bit about the onboarding managers and the team captains and the recruiting managers. But I want to start off with Mr. Andrew Evans. I would write his name down because Mr. Andrew Evans, he's the guy that makes all the management decisions. Every management decision goes through him. He is incredible. In fact, if you Google Andrew Evans, you'll notice a couple of things about him. You'll notice that he was rated one of the top 20 entrepreneurs to watch in 2020, according to Yahoo. Might be, you may have heard of Yahoo, right? He was rated top 20 entrepreneurs to watch. In fact, he has a podcast that was rated the top 10 business podcasts to listen to in 2020. I would write it down. Ace Weekly. Ace Weekly is what the podcast is called. I would check it out. I would listen to a couple of episodes. Andrew Evans has over 600 five-star reviews. He has CEOs of companies that like your parents work at. The CEOs of those companies are like Andrew's interviewing them on his podcast. He is absolutely incredible. He graduated from Florida State University with 3 degrees, a triple major from FSU. He started selling Cutco at 17 years old. He became an assistant manager and then a branch manager, a senior branch manager, and one of the first 3-time branch managers that we had. He opened up 3 offices as a summer manager during his college academics. Here's what's so impressive about Andrew. He broke the all-time company record as a branch manager, and ready? That summer, before he graduated from FSU, he profited, not earned, profited in his pocket over $75,000 in a summer. At 21 years old. Isn't that incredible? That's absolutely incredible. And if you're interested in learning how to do that, he is the guy to get on his radar. You want to get on his radar. If you have a passion project or a cause that you're excited about, maybe, just maybe, if he knows who you are, he might interview you on his podcast. Who knows? Who knows? But here's what I do know. Here's the top 25 representatives in Florida Coast Division that Andrew Evans runs. So right now, number 1, Ray Reed, $180,000 for the year. So of course, Andrew talks to Ray. Nicole Reed's over $106,000. Of course, Andrew talks to Nicole. We got Bryce over here at $21,000, number 25. Of course, Andrew knows Bryce. So if you are interested in getting on Andrew's radar, he looks at this report every week. And if you're interested in learning on how to get on his radar, I would take a screenshot of this slide right here and find these people on social media and pick their brain. Say, hey, I'm curious. Bryce Brown, how did you get to 21,000 in sales? Hey, Cassidy Sanborn, number 11, how'd you get to 38,000 in sales? Pick their brain, ask them questions, seek best practices. So that's one little simple tip for you, to get on Andrew Evans' radar if you're interested. As far as myself, I am the district manager, the proud district manager of our Tampa organization. I started with the company back, ready? June of 2004. Here's me. Look at that fro, baby. Look at that fro. June of 2004. I had some good hair back then, I'll tell you what. So what's fun is I started with the company and I never sold anything in my entire life. I bagged groceries. I was pushing carts at Stop and Shop. I was up in New Jersey growing up and rode my bicycle to work. I was a video game nerd. I was varsity tennis, varsity basketball, National Honor Society. My academic scholarships got me to USF. I left New Jersey, went to USF, and started paying my way ththrough school, doing a work study on campus. But however, it only paid me minimum wage, and I couldn't pay my way through school because I was broke. So I actually moved back up to New Jersey. And that following summer after my freshman year to get some extra money, I was working with my dad. He owns a plumbing business, digging ditches and doing some manual labor, and it sucked. and I got a random letter in the mail. I went in for the interview. I got the position, and the rest is history. I was able to sell about 16 grand that summer. I was not an ass kicker like Mason. In fact, I was pretty average. I moved down from New Jersey to Tampa to continue my education at USF, and I just never quit. I just did part-time work around my engineering classes. I had 5 engineering classes every semester, and I just did like 4, 5, 6 appointments a week. That's it. I met new people. We didn't have virtual demos back then, so I asked my college professors if they would do an appointment with me. Many of them were nice enough to let me do one. I had my the boss of my old work study, my bank teller that cashed my checks, my roommate's mom, 2 of my roommates' moms, the property manager of my apartment complex. So these are a few of the people I started with in Tampa because I didn't know anyone. In New Jersey, shoot, I sat down. I remember doing a list in training, and I wrote down, I was in National Honor Society. I was writing down all the kids in National Honor Society. I was like, every one of them have a mom. They're going to pay me $15 to do an appointment with a mom. Awesome. I went through every kid on my basketball team, my tennis team, National Honor Society. I was like, all right, Jonathan, mom, Susan, mom, Deborah, mom, Liz, mom. I had a list. I was just going through. I went home and went through the yearbook, and I had all those people. I was like, all of their moms. So that's what I did when I was in New Jersey. And then in New Jersey, I had AOL Instant Messenger. I'm kind of dating myself here. MySpace was in the up and up, so I didn't have the resources y'all have. And I remember going on Instant Messenger, waiting for my friends to hop on so I can IM them, instant message them, copy paste, asking them for their mom's number. And I remember sitting there for 4 hours after training, just trying to get as many of those phone numbers as possible. And it took me about 4 hours, but I got like 80 numbers. And that up in New Jersey, it was easy because I had all the resources. But in Tampa, I didn't know anyone, and we didn't do virtual demos back then. We did live in-home appointments. So I really had a network, and doing that taught me so many great skills. Now y'all have it easy. Are you shitting me? Justin could go to his mom's Facebook, and she probably has 300 friends that are all people he can copy paste and send a message to asking them for appointments. Like, shoot, if I had that, that'd be great. And not only that, they can live anywhere in the freaking country. It doesn't even matter. All right. It makes it so easy nowadays because we do everything virtual. Plus, with everything with social media, everyone's accessible. Everyone has cell phones. You could just call or text everyone. We used to have house phones, for crying out loud. I don't know if any of you guys still have a house phone. It's weird, right? It's like obsolete. You don't even know what that is. Remember a cord? There was a cord attached to a phone. But I'm dating myself here. That's how I started. So I just worked hard. I enjoyed the position. Here's the best part. You get paid the same pay that I got paid 16 years ago. You believe that shit? It's so much easier now than it was 16 years ago, but the pay structure is the same. It was good for me back then. And now it's just that much easier to make such great money. And that's why if you look at our Instagram, a lot of people, some of your friends have recommended you to work here. They love it. They love the position because it's just a fantastic opportunity for you to, what you put in is what you get out. I advanced with the company into management. I started teaching other students to do what I did as a college kid. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with teaching students. And I got promoted to run a branch office and then a senior branch. And then when I graduated, I got my bachelor's of science in industrial engineering with a minor in leadership studies from USF. And I had 7 different job offers post-college graduation between engineering sales, consulting companies, financial advising companies. My dad, who was skeptic at the time of me doing Cutco, wanted me to take over his plumbing business. I had 3 investment properties that I was renting out. So real estate was on my mind. So I had 7 different offers post-college graduation, but I chose to stay here with Vector. I was offered a career position. I opened up Clearwater, Florida. And now I've been able to train over 4,000 students to sell over $14 million worth of Cutco. And personally sold about $330,000 worth of Cutco, puts me top 600 all time out of 2 million people who sold Cutco. I'm top 600. I don't share this to impress you. I'm just sharing this that I'm qualified to teach you how to do this job. That's it. So, but who you're really going to need to work with and who you really want to pay attention to is not me. I'm going to teach you how to get good at the job. I'm going to show you everything, but the people you want to really know and take note of their names are these individuals, our management team. Specifically, we have the Black Mamba crew, and then we have the Purple Python crew, and also our recruiting managers. So as far as just some introductions here, We already introduced you to Mason Linker, team captain of the Black Mambas. I do want to introduce you to Jessica Shanan, who is the team captain of the Purple Pythons. Jess, I think I saw you were on. Are you still on?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Awesome. So let me cancel my spotlight so we could spotlight you because they don't want to see me. So Jess, Jess actually started. You could correct me if I'm wrong. Did you start 1 year ago today, or was it next week?
I think it's next week. I had my interview, I think today.
So you interviewed 1 year ago. Imagine this, Jessica Shannon interviewed for the company 1 year ago, and now Jessica Shannon, how much Cutco have you personally sold now?
I've sold over $40,000.
Over $40,000 worth of Cutco. Isn't that kind of cool? 1 year later, and what's really most impressive about Jessica selling her $40,000, half of that was her first fall around her freshman year classes at USF, maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Imagine that. This young lady is one of the most impressive 18-year-olds you will ever get a chance to meet in your entire life, by far. Jess, what were you doing before Cutco? So what were some of your past jobs?
So I did a lot of nannying. I worked front desk and reception for a chiropractor. And then I also worked at a candy hearts factory, kind of like as a factory worker under the table. And I did that all at the same time throughout high school.
Very cool. So pretty typical high school kid jobs. How does this position here compare to what you were doing?
This position really gave me the opportunity to be compensated for my work. So it didn't matter how hard I worked at my front desk job, I still got paid $10 an hour. I could be the best at it or I could be the worst at it, and it didn't matter. And here I know that exactly what Mason said, what I put in is exactly what I get out.
And since you started here, I know some people might be a little money motivated. What's your biggest paycheck that you got for 1 week so far in your first year selling Cutco?
I think it was just under 2 grand.
And that was for 1 week?
Mm-hmm.
Justin just fell out of his chair. He said, excuse me? What'd you say? 2 grand for 1 week? If anyone on this Zoom wanted to position themselves where they can make a $2,000 paycheck in 1 week, what advice could you give to them if they want to get off to a fast start or position themselves to have that opportunity?
My biggest advice that I would give to them would just be to take a lot of notes and really make the most out of training. So you're already sitting on the Zoom, you're already watching, and it goes down to the same thing of how well do you want to do it. So I sat in the training seminar almost exactly a year ago, and Mike will tell you that I sat at the front of the room. I had my notebook, I had my pens ready. I think I had 2 different colored pens, and I still have my training journal somewhere here with all the notes I took because it was really important to me and I was already there. So if I'm going to do something, I might as well just do it really well. And I encourage you to go into training with that same mindset.
Very cool. I was just pulling up. I actually have proof of that. Here's Jessica Shannon. There she is in her training seminar. And then this here is Jessica Shannon at her first team meeting. This is way back when we were able to do live stuff. And this is.
I lost a bet. I didn't do this for fun.
So Jess, you made $258 your first weekend on the job. So we're going back a year ago. So, some people hearing that and they might say, well, that's pretty good. Some people hear that and they're like, shit, if I can make $250 this weekend, I'll quit my other job right now. They might have another job. And they might be like, if you could pay me $250 this weekend, or if I could pay myself $250 this weekend, I'll go all in here. So how did you do that around your freshman year? I mean, this is right in the beginning of the semester. Freshman, you were taking 4 or 5 classes, 5 classes. What advice could you give to them to go out this weekend and make $250 like you did last year?
I just did a ton of demos. I mean, some of you are in classes that are starting to pick up, but I just managed my time well. I kept the weekend open. I knew that as a student, if I was already going to school during the weekdays, I was just going to get all my work done on the weekdays and then save my weekend open to have a really big first weekend because the way that our pay structure works, that was probably the hardest I worked to make that $250. If I do like a fraction of the appointments now based on my percentage, I'll probably still make more. But I knew that to get to this place where during midterms I could work half and still make the same amount of money, I needed to put in work in the beginning. So my tip would just be to maximize on your first weekend.
When you say maximum, how many do you have an idea or remember how many appointments you did?
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I probably did about 15 appointments, I would say.
So about 5 a day on average.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. So, and some of you, that's not feasible. You're not going to even be able to fit that in. But when we do your schedule today, you'll be able to see how many appointments you could do, but to your advantage, you're not doing live demos. Jessica was doing some live appointments driving. You actually drove to someone's house to do an appointment.
An hour away.
Yeah. So she drove from USF to Clearwater, Palm Harbor, to be able to do that. So, well, Jess is doing an absolute fantastic job. She finished an All-American scholarship in her first fall. She was a top 10 student in the entire country her first fall selling Cutco. So if you get a chance, if you're a part of the Purple Pythons, Miss Jessica Sheenan is going to be your team captain, and you'll get a chance to work directly with Miss Jess Sheenan. So, Jess, I know how busy you are around your classes. Right now, you're still taking, what, 4 or 5 classes? 4 classes?
Yeah.
5. So still taking 5 classes while running a team in the office. And what do you want to do next summer? So why are you working so hard? What's the goal for next summer?
So next summer I want to run a branch. So what Mason's doing 3 times, I'm going to go into doing my first time. And I didn't know when I started this job about a year ago that I wanted to do management. I was totally fine just selling. And then I turned into being an assistant manager, and this summer I managed a team. So next summer I want to have like my own real team, my own office, my own people. And that's what I'm working really hard towards.
Cool. Well, we're rooting you on, and we appreciate you stopping by. So if any of you got any good tips or advice from Jess, post that into your WhatsApp chat, and she'll be supporting you, and you'll get a chance to work with the Purple Pythons as well. So we also have a few other introductions I'd like to make, because they're already I see a few of them are on. We have on the Black Mambas, Lindsay Holstrom. Are you still with us?
I am indeed.
Nice. So this is Lindsay. So Lindsay Holstrom is the onboarding manager. She's her job is to help you during your first 5 days on the position. And once you're good at her job is to get you good at the position. And once you get good, she's going to pass you to Mason. And her job is to onboard, support, and lead. Why is she in that role? Is because she is so good at helping people when they are brand new. Lindsay actually just finished her summer running the Spring Hill branch office. This young lady, just finished her sophomore year over at University of Florida. So she's a Gator, and she just ran her own business that produced right at $100,000 in Cutco sales. She recruited and provided over 70 jobs to other young people in the Spring Hill Pasco area. Imagine that. So it's really, really cool. It's very impressive. And Lindsay was one of my assistant managers in the Tampa office last summer. She worked with me. She started January of 2019. 2019, is that right?
I think it was technically January of 20.
So summer 20, yeah. So January 2019. And she got off to a solid start. Her first weekend out, she ended up making over $400 in her first weekend. So she knows what it takes to have a solid first weekend and have some good success right out the gates. And now, Lindsay, how much have you sold worth of Cutco?
About 50,000.
So she's personally sold right at about $50,000 worth of Cutco. She is studying pre-med over at University of Florida. Her goal is to become a medical examiner, where she could cut open dead people and examine and figure out what the cause of death is. So Lindsay obviously watched a lot of movies growing up. No, I'm just kidding. But Linz, tell us, obviously going to pre-med, you got Mason is studying entrepreneurship and Jess who's studying marketing and business. Duh. That makes sense. But why sell Cutco if you want to cut open dead people and do pre-med and do medical examining? How does this line up for that?
Yeah, so a couple reasons. First of all, when you go to medical school, you got to stand out. So my goal is to be a 5-star graduate from college, and what that means is that when I apply to medical schools, I want them knocking at my door, asking me to come work with them. So when you go into medical school, you have to work with people. You have to treat people like they're people, not like they're numbers. You have to, make connections, build rapport, convince your patients why you should be the one to treat them. If I ever work in a setting where I'm working with real alive patients, I have to be able to do that. And this job provides me that experience. And if I ever want to run my own practice, I can also do that as well. And I have the experience and I know how to start a business. So it's real world application, and I know I'm going to stand out when I go to medical school interviews.
Mm. Very cool. So Linz, if they wanted to make $400 their first weekend, like you did, what advice could you give them if they're money motivated? Some of them don't care about the money; they just want the experience. But if they were money motivated to make $400 this weekend right out of training, what advice could you give them?
I would say make sure you're seeing the right people. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later in training, but you want to make sure you're seeing MAC customers. So that's a phrase we're going to throw out. Make sure you're seeing your best people, not your easiest, not your nicest, but your best people. And, do your first 10 appointments if possible. Get your first 10 appointments on the board completed this weekend before school starts again on Tuesday. And you're going to be in a really great position.
Yeah, I think that's great. When you're talking about MAC appointments, we're going to talk about that during training today. And I like the number 10 as well. 10, is a good number to shoot for. We'll show a schedule today that to see if that's feasible for you. Some of you it might be, some of you it might not be, but that's good. That's great, Lynn. So Lindsay's going to be supporting all of you that are on the Black Mambas. So if you're going to be on the Black Mambas, she's going to be supporting you and helping you have as much success as fast as possible. And she'll be one of your go-tos. So I appreciate you being here to support the training, Lindsay. And, Lindsay's is a great asset to our organization. So, and by the way, Lindsay, you already have your letter of intent in. You already wrote it up, typed it in. What is your goal for next summer? I know you already ran a business with us this summer. What's your goal for next summer?
Sales wise?
No, just what do you want to do? What role do you want to be in next summer?
Got it. So I was a first-time branch manager this past summer. So I've already committed to actually running an office next summer. And I obviously plan to improve on, all the things that I learned this summer running my own business. So I've already committed to that. So within the next fall and spring semesters, I'm busy, learning and improving on myself and learning how to manage a great team. So.
Cool. And Linz, how old are you?
I am almost 21.
Almost 21. And what's the biggest paycheck you ever made since you started working with us?
It was almost $5,000.
For how long of was that for?
It was a week.
Excuse me, 1 week?
Yes. It was
$5,000?
Yes.
Holy shit, huh? Justin really fell out of his chair. Justin, you need to grab the seatbelt out of your car and strap yourself into your chair because you're going to keep falling over, brother. So Lindsay, I appreciate you, and everyone that gets a chance to work with you is excited. So if you want to make that type of income, talk to Lindsay because she's the one that knows how to do it. I also want to introduce you. I saw Cassidy. Are you still with us?
I am.
So Cassidy is onboarding manager for the Purple Pythons. So she's going to be in the role to support all of you rookies, the rookie Pythons, to help pass you on to Jessica. And Cassidy started in January of this year. So Cassidy's pretty new in her role. She started less than a year ago. And Cassidy is now at, what are you at in career sales right now? How much Cutco have you sold?
Yeah, I've sold $40,000 worth.
So right at $40,000 worth of Cutco, Cassidy is now responsible for. And Cassidy, you didn't get off to the fastest start. What did you sell? I know Lindsay sold $4,000 her first weekend. What did you sell your first weekend? Do you remember?
$300.
$300. That's not even one average order. That's less than an average, like less than one sale in her first weekend on the job.
Yep.
So Cassidy is in her role right now because not because of what she sold her first weekend. It's because how she responded to the results in her first weekend. So instead of complaining or, oh, this sucks, or I don't know if I'm good at this, there might've been a little bit of that. But the most important thing that Cassidy did was she showed up to workshops. She showed up to advanced training. She asked for help to her coaches. She kept doing more appointments. And then she ended up finishing her fast start at right at about what? How much did you end up selling in your first 10 days?
First 10 days, I would say I sold about 3 or 4,000.
So she 10x'd. So 10x went from like 300 to 3 or 4 grand just by getting better. And that's what we pride ourselves on. We don't expect you to be great right out the gates. Maybe a few of you, if you want to be the next Lindsay Holstrom or the next, Jessica Shannon or Mason Linker, get off to these fast starts, great. But you could be the next Cassidy Sanborn too, which doesn't get off to the fastest start, but then kind of gets into stride. Now, Cassidy's graduating from USF this fall. So she was taking senior level classes around working her restaurant job. So she was doing her waitressing and taking her classes pre-med over at USF. So she didn't have that much time. But here's what's fun. She ended up getting into her strides, slow and steady. And then boom, it just clicked. Just clicked. And then when it clicked, it was about March, couple weeks into the job. She hasn't looked back. We promoted her to be an intern. Then we promoted her to be an assistant manager. And now she's an onboarding manager. And Cassidy has now submitted her letter of intent. What is your goal for next summer now?
Next summer is to be a district manager, which is exactly what Mr. Abramowitz does.
And so imagine that in your first 18 months, ladies and gentlemen, you could be brand new right now like Cassidy was a few months ago. And then 18 months later, she's going to be running her own office as a career manager. And a career manager opportunity is really something special. I'll talk a little bit about that later on in training, but they treat us well. We get 3 trips a year. They just announced we're going to Australia and New Zealand for 12 days next year. We get a BMW that the company pays our lease for. It's a 6-figure income opportunity. We run our own business. We help young people with jobs, and it's a pretty good gig. So, Cassidy is someone who is like, I like that. I want to do that. But you're not getting a degree in knife management. What's your degree in?
My degree is in health science. I have a passion for physical therapy. So that's what I'm going to school for.
Cool. So the long game, so the short game is, let me become a knife manager. Let me do what Mike does. Let me become a district manager and help refine some of my skills. So right now you're what, 22?
I actually just turned 23.
23. Yeah, that's right. Birthday in the forest. I remember. So 23. So that way, by the time you're 25, 26, 27, like in that mid to late 20s, the dream job, what's the dream job for you? And how does this tie into that? I know you have your degree.
Right.
But what's
dream job? There's a couple things. I have options, which is what this job gives you. Because now I'm like, there's so many things that have opened up for me from the beginning that I started this job. I thought I wanted to just be a physical therapist. That's the end goal. Well, now I have the district manager opportunity. I have physical therapy that's waiting for me, but also I can do so many other things and expand my influence and expand my message of just loving yourself, having confidence in yourself. And so the possibilities are absolutely endless with this job.
Very cool. And Cassidy, if you had to give them maybe a piece of advice or to help them, maybe learn from some of your, your feedback from your first weekend, if you could go back, maybe do some things differently with what you know now to help them learn from your struggles. Because what's the saying? Smart people learn from their own mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So what type of wisdom could you share with them?
Yeah, guys, honestly, what I have for you is to be in high communication with your coaches. Ask for help. Do not think you are annoying. I promise. We want to help you. And even if it's the smallest thing, just ask us. Give us a call. Call us during your demos. We're going to talk about that a little later, about calling during your demos, because we want to help you and we want you guys to make a bunch of money as well. So that's what we're here for. Take advantage of our help that we want to give you. That's the biggest advice I want to give to you guys.
Yeah, that's great advice because, you've never done this before. So if someone has never done this before, then we want to give them an opportunity to get good. And Cassidy's job is to get you good before you get passed on to Jessica. So blow up her phone. We'll talk about the communication guidelines. She's going to support you every single step of the way. So Cass, thanks so much. I know you have 4 classes this semester?
5 classes.
So five classes last semester, and then she graduates from USF. So she's managing all of you plus managing her 5 classes, and she sells Cutco. Talk about time management. So these are the individuals you want to learn from. You want to learn from Cassie. You want to learn from all these individuals on how to balance a busy schedule. So what's the saying? The saying that we have is, I have a lot on my plate and I'm hungry. I'm hungry, baby. So a lot of you kiddos, you say like, oh, I just have a lot on my plate. Like your friends might say that, like, I just have a lot on my plate right now. We say, I have a lot on my plate and I'm hungry. It's time to eat, So we appreciate you, Cass. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for chiming in. We appreciate that. A couple other people that aren't on right now, but you can get a chance to meet. Liz Lopez. She's a pod leader for the Black Mambas. She's a USF St. Pete senior. She's about to graduate. She was the #1 female that we had this summer, which is really cool. And she is doing a great job studying marketing over at USF St. Pete. And we have Bryce Brown. He is just finished his first summer. He is a freshman. He's a freshman over at SBC. He'll be transferring over to FAMU in the fall, or in the spring rather. And he's been doing a great job working with us. We also have Eric Garcia, USF. He is a sophomore over there, and he's studying chemistry. He wants to come up with his own pharmaceutical, he wants to come up with makeup, or like his own makeup line, and skincare, like a skincare to help people. So he wants to create his own line and also market his own line. And he could correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's what I got. So he's doing a great job working with us. Anthony Ramirez, Florida State University. Both of these gentlemen are right about $20,000 to $30,000 in sales. Bryce is about $20,000. Liz Lopez is about $30,000 in Cutco sales. So you're in really great hands with these individuals to help you every step of the way. The individuals that you want to thank the most are these individuals: Audrey Cruz, Rochelle Foland, and Lindsay Fallon. These individuals, these ladies, are in charge of the recruiting operation. So their job is to help you have a job. So you probably either spoke to one of the people that they oversee or spoke to them, and you have a position working with us because of one of these ladies. So you could thank them that you have a job. So this is our district staff. And here's what's fun. Right here, see at the bottom, future assistant managers, question marks. Why is that there? Well, here's the thing. As we continue to provide more jobs, we're going to need to provide more managers to support those new people. So as you go through training, I just want you to think, you're not going to be new forever. So if you can get really good at this, get off to a faster start, take your training seriously, who knows? Maybe you could position yourself to get promoted a little bit quicker because, just like these other individuals. I'm not a fortune teller, but it's nice to know the options are available to you. Because I know in my last job, the option wasn't even there. It didn't even matter. I could work so hard, it didn't matter. But here, what you put in is what you get out. And I want to just want to remind you, something you already know, is this time of year that you're starting right in the beginning of the fall is one of the best times of year that you could possibly start working with our company. Here's why. Right now, coming up, especially this upcoming weekend, is called Labor Day, right? If you look at any of the advertisements in any of the malls or, any of the stores or any of the promos, any of the flyers, my email inbox is blowing up with Labor Day sales. So what does that mean? People are in the buying atmosphere already. So if people are spending money, then it brings what is called momentum. And when you have momentum with consumer spending, you want to capitalize on that. So you have a 3-day weekend. You have a 3-day weekend where you have one of the most competitive advantages over all the other training classes this entire fall. So this is one of the best weekends you could possibly start working with our company. Not only that, right after Labor Day in September, you have Halloween in October. Pumpkin carving season starts. What do people need for pumpkin carving? They need some knives. pumpkin pies start. And then what happens in November? Oh, baby, Thanksgiving, all Black Friday sales. What happens after that? Boom, Christmas shopping in December. So you have the entire month of September and October as this is going to get good. So by the time the holiday season hits in a few weeks from now, you're going to be so good at the job that you're going to be able to just collect and connect. So around final exams and around that, that fall, like that fall transition into winter break, you're going to just be eaten because you're good at the job. You're starting at one of the best times you possibly can. And I want you to train for success. I want you to take your training seriously. Why do I want you to train for success? Because you have never know what opportunities are going to open up for you. Our best people here in Tampa, they're not making the $15 base pay per appointment. Our best people are making over $30 an appointment off the commission pay. Why make 15 if you can make double? We're going to teach you how to do that. We have a newsletter that goes out to the eastern part of the United States every single week. Our mission is to get you on that newsletter. Andrew Evans looks at that newsletter every single week for the new up and coming rising talent. Get on that newsletter. That should be your mission. We'll talk about how to do that. That's like getting on the front page of the high school newspaper. That's what that is. And we have people on that all the time. If you're excited about big paychecks, well, we have several individuals who've made some nice paychecks their first weekend on the job. You already met a few of them. We have individuals in their first 10 days on the job. They're in their fast start. Connor and Elon and Taylor, individuals making over $2,000 in their first 10 days on the job. Big paychecks from this summer. I mean, we had Mason and Amanda make over 30 grand. Mason made over 30 grand his first summer. Amanda made over 30 grand this summer. Will Lovelace from Shorecrest Prep, 15 grand. Justin Lurie, Stein and Brenner High School. Cassidy Sanborn over 16 grand in a summer. That's exciting. So I highly recommend you to be ready to take some notes. There's 4 different types of notes that you're going to take during training. There's 4 different types of notes. The first type of notes is going to be on My Vector Demo. That's going to be your site that you use during training. Okay, like during your demos. That's going to be My Vector Demo. You're going to want to take some notes. Like I'm going to give you some hot phrases and some phrases that pay. You're going to take notes on those. Then you have your Cutco demo. That's what the customer sees. You might need to take some notes on how to navigate through that site. Then you have some general keys, some general notes that I'm going to give you during training. And then you have like demonstration notes, just some different keys, philosophies on the demonstration. That's how I would take notes. So during training, I would have the Zoom in this middle part right here. I would have your training notes on the left side. I would have your demonstration notes on the right side, your presentation in the center. So that way you could take notes during training effectively. Your training notes, along with your general notes, along with your demonstration notes. Just set up your screen now so you're ready to take notes. Now, if you're old school like me and you just want to use a journal or a notebook, that's totally cool. If you want to type it out, type it out. But I recommend you using the just being organized and ready to learn during training. So what you can expect during your time during training and what you can expect while working with us, I would start writing these now. These would be your general notes. So this would go in your general notes. A couple of simple things to expect from us. Number one is you could expect 100% commitment to your success. You already got that from the coaches. We're here to support you. I don't need to hit that home more than we already did. Just we are here to support you. We are committed to your success. Your success is our success. Here's the deal. Let me let you know a little secret here. Us managers, everyone you met, Mason, Lindsay, Cash, Jess, everyone you met, we make commissions, 100% commissions, meaning we don't get a salary. I don't get if you memorize a page, I don't get a bonus, right? Like I'm paid 100%. We are all paid 100% off of your success. So what does that mean? What type of training do you think I'm going to give you? I'm going to give you good training, right? I'm going to give you the best training. So therefore, just know that we're not going to ever teach you things that don't work. So you don't work for me. I work for you. I'm not your boss. I work for you. I'm here to help you have success. And I believe any good leader is a servant leader. We've got to help you succeed in order for us to succeed. The coach of the team cannot succeed unless the individual player on that team can succeed. And every one of you are new players on our team. Now, granted, some of you are going to be like quarterbacks, all-star quarterbacks of this team. Great. I already have some of those. I don't really need more, but I'll take them. Some of you are going to be like running backs. Some of you might be offensive linemen. Some of you might be the kicker. And some of you might be the guy that holds the ball for the kicker. And if you don't know football, it's a really small role. But here's what I'll tell you. If that guy that holds the ball for the kicker doesn't do his job, the rest of the team cannot succeed. Every one of you play a part. Every one of you are very important. I don't care if you're doing 3 appointments on a weekend or you're doing 20 appointments on a weekend. I don't care. I need you to do your job. And what you can expect from us is to help you every step of the way. We are here to support you no matter how big or small your paychecks are, no matter how big or small your sales weeks are. We want you to have a great experience. And in order to do that, we got to be committed to your success. So that's very important. Number one that you could expect from us. Number 2 is the availability. We're going to coach you. We use WhatsApp for coaching. WhatsApp for coaching. Okay, so I'll say this in the nicest way possible. Outside of training, you probably will never talk to me. Not because I'm too good for you. It's just because I'm not your direct report. I oversee all of the managers. Okay. Now, if you get on my staff, I start working with you, but I'm in your WhatsApp coaching chat. So what does it mean? I'll sometimes chime in. Hey, your coach, you could at my name. I'll chime in. I'm in your chat. I'll support you. But that's how we communicate. Don't call me. I'm not answering the phone. Why? Because I'm probably in a meeting like this. All right. Your coach, you could call them, but they're probably in a meeting too. They're probably already on the phone with someone else, but WhatsApp is not real time. So you send voice memos, they'll respond whenever they're ready. But here's the best part. When they send you a voice memo, when they send you a text message, you also respond when you're available. So we don't expect you to be a slave to your phone. We don't expect you, but I do expect you to be, be accessible. And that's why we use WhatsApp. We use WhatsApp so it's not real time. We don't want to blow up your phone while you're in training. We need to talk to you right now. No. If you're in class, no big deal. We'll send you the message. And then as soon as you're done with class, hey, respond to the message. No big deal. But we're going to be available. We're going to support you. The amount of times that you and your friends might look at TikTok or Snapchat or Instagram is how many times we look at WhatsApp. WhatsApp is our business social media. Because us managers know the more we check WhatsApp, the more money we're making, the more we're selling, the better our people are doing. And if you could adopt that principle and that philosophy too, that WhatsApp, turn those notifications on, the more you are involved in the WhatsApp concept and more you're involved in WhatsApp communication, the better the coaching that we'll be able to provide to you. And lastly is open communication. I'll tell you, my coaching staff, myself included, we're not your friends, but we're going to be friendly. We're going to be like that coach that challenges you. We're going to be like that coach that tells you, that celebrates with you when you are a rock star. And when you're being lazy, we're going to kick you in the ass a little bit, just out of love. Now, I'm not going to kick you in the ass because I want you to hit my goals. Here's how it's going to work. Ready? I'm going to have a conversation. Let's say if I was hypothetically, if I was coaching, who's on my screen? Let's say if I was coaching Daniela. I see Daniela on my screen. So let's say if I was coaching Daniela and Daniela said, I want to make $150 this weekend. I would say, great. Why? She says, well, I have this really cute guy that I want to take out on a date. I say, all right, well, we're practicing social distancing, so be safe, right? That would be the first thing. And then I'll say, awesome, $150 to take cute guy on a date. Great. So now I know what her goal is. I know why she wants that goal. And then I'll tell her, cool, all you got to do, put Cutco in front of 10 people. That's it. 10 people this weekend, 5 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday. You sit in front of your computer, you'll probably make more. Daniela, will you be mad at me if I help you make more? No, Mike, I won't be mad at you if you make more. I'm going to help you make at least that. All right, here we go. Cool. So if Daniela gets lazy, all I'm going to do is to kick Daniela in the ass is I'm going to just say, hey, Daniela, how bad did you want to take out that cute guy on a date? How bad did you want that 150? I'm here to remind you. You said you want that goal. I'm just here to give you a little nudge. Come on. Let's get off the couch. Let's hit the phones. Let's make some calls. Let's book up some appointments. Let's get the goal that you said you wanted. Is that pretty badass? Like, that's amazing. Now for you, I don't know if that's amazing for you, but for me, that's awesome. That's awesome because my last job had a boss, and that boss told me to get my ass to work. And if I don't get to work, I'm fired. I didn't have a choice in the matter. I didn't have a coach that motivated me. I had a boss that told me what to do. Do this or else. That's not how we're raising you here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not your old job. You could work your ass off at your old job and you're paid the same. That is not the case here. You are not just a number. You are not just a statistic. You are a valuable member of the Game Changers organization, and that means something here. That means something. And we take your training seriously. So something to keep that in mind. You could expect that of us. What can you expect from us? Commitment to you, availability, and open communication. So if you have a light bulb on any of that, go ahead and hit us up in the WhatsApp chat. You know, any light bulbs on that? Anything that's like, you know what, that's pretty cool. I like that. Because what I'm going to do in a moment, I'm going to give you a couple of my keys to success, and then I'm going to review the agenda for training. We'll take our first break. And then after our first break, then we'll come back. I'll review pay from the interview. Then I'm going to teach you the actual demonstration, what you're going to be doing with customers. We'll give you some time to practice that with a partner. Get ready. Be present. Well, during that, after we're done with that, we'll take another break. Then we're going to do a names list exercise. We're going to help you brainstorm some people that you could do appointments with. Now, by the way, you don't have to wait for the exercise. If you're sitting in training, you're like, oh, shoot, I forgot about that soccer coach. Write that person's name down as a possibility. As you're thinking, I want you to be thinking, if Mike paid me $15 to sit down with that person, could I maybe have the courage to call them and ask them for a favor to do an appointment with me? That's all I want you to be thinking about during training. And if the answer is yes, write that person's name down. My orthodontist, cool. My optometrist, all right. My mom's accountant, excellent. My chemistry teacher, she was kind of a, maybe, all right, I'll write her down, but I'm probably not calling her anytime soon, right? You know, whatever it might be, right? So just keep that idea list. It's almost like an idea list. And here's what's fun. By the time training's over, would you feel pretty confident if you have like 50 or 60 or 70 people on that list of ideas that you can know that you can reach out to and get appointments with? Last week's training, last time I ran training, our average was over 100, average over 100. So if you just go through the training and the exercise I'm going to teach you, on average, most people have over 100 ideas of people that they could do those appointments with if they wanted to. So keep that running list. We'll do that exercise. Then we're going to do a customized schedule with you, something that you feel good about. We're going to help you map out your schedule. We're going to teach you how to make phone calls. And then at the end of training, the last hour or so of training, you're going to hit the phones and you're going to arrange your first 5 or 6 or 7 appointments with your mom and your grandma, your auntie, uncle, your best friend's mom. We're going to teach you how to call them, how to set them up, what to say, what not to say. We're going to show you how to set up. We have an app you're going to download. It's called Q. You're going to use that to make your phone calls. That's how we keep track of all of your appointments. That's, someone might ask, well, Mike, how do you know we're doing appointments? Well, we use Q. We have an app to, I'll download it. You do all your work through that. And then you'll have a one-on-one conversation with your coach and you're out of here. And that's going to be today's training. Tomorrow's training, that's where we dot the I's, cross the T's. We teach you how to get recommendations from the appointments you do. So you're going to leave today with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 appointments ahead of you. So tomorrow we're going to teach you how to turn those appointments into more phone numbers and get more recommendations, even incorporating some social media. We're going to teach you how to enter all your clock in and clock out, how to get paid for each of your appointments, how to enter your sales into the computer. We're going to teach you how to show all the prices, all the accessories, all the add-ons, working with people who already own Cutco. We're going to give you about 40 minutes tomorrow to practice the presentation to get some kinks out. And you're going to get a chance to watch a live presentation tomorrow from someone who has sold just under $50,000 worth of Cutco. Would that be pretty cool? You're going to see what a full presentation looks like. Then we're going to wrap everything up. Oh, tomorrow, I'm going to tell you about a contest, all the contests that are up for grabs. One of you will be leaving training with $100 tomorrow. You guys like that? We have some cash contests up for grabs. Tomorrow, I get to tell you about the Fast Start contest. One of you might even get a chance to win an all-inclusive trip. Now, the trip is not till the spring. We got a little quarantine action going on right now, but you might even get a chance to win a trip. Some of you might even, some of you are going to learn about this contest where you win like VIP limo nights, free Cutco, lots of, like a shitload of money, like more money than you knew what to do with. I can't wait to tell you about these contests. You guys fired up about that? You should be fired up about that. So I'm going to tell you about all those contests tomorrow, and then we're going to wrap up training. Boom. And then tomorrow night, we get out of training 8 p.m. Tonight, we get done around 9. Here's the deal. If I'm you, I'm not you, but if I was, you are going to be like, at the end of training today, you're going to be so fired up. You're going to be like, Mike, stop talking already. I'm ready. Let me just do my demos. By the end of training tomorrow, you're going to be like a Cutco crackhead or something. Like you're gonna be like shaking. You'll be like, I can't wait to go do a demo. Like, I can't wait. I got to do it a demo. Like, I want to do an appointment so bad. I can't wait to sell these knives. So tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. is going to be the best appointment you've ever done. Okay. Because you're going to be so lit, so fired up, so excited, so engaged, so energized to do that first appointment. I would encourage you to do that first one, your best one, 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night. And then go enjoy your Friday night. Saturday morning, I'm going to be running an optional, heavily encouraged. It's only a 30-minute workshop, 30 minutes with me. It'll be more, it'll be with other people, not just you. And I'm going to be just going over just some little bit of advanced tips, just some review, just really help you have a great Saturday. Saturdays are always our biggest sales day of the week because mom's just got paid, dad just got paid Friday, right? It's the weekend, the people are in good moods, it's just different. It's a different vibe Saturday, and we just want to capitalize on Saturday. So I run a special intimate workshop on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. It's only 30 minutes, but I highly recommend it. I promise you, I'll get you so fired up again to go into your Saturday, and you will rock your Saturday. How sick would it be to hit your first 1 or 2 pay raises in your first day or your first weekend on the job, right? So we at least want to position you for that. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't, but that's why it's an invitation, not an obligation tomorrow morning. But that's kind of how the training's going to unfold. Then we'll have some advanced trainings and some extra workshops for you sprinkled in during your first week. We have an advanced training for you that I'll be supporting as well. That's where we're going to teach you some secret weapons. We can't teach you everything in 2 days, but it's like an ongoing. It's almost like, imagine like you're learning an instrument or learning a language, right? You could learn the basics, and then you got to learn some of the fluencies and a little bit more. Think about training today and tomorrow as like how to dribble, how to take a layup if this is basketball. Then these workshops and advanced trainings are how to cross someone up, right? How to dribble between the legs, how to take a 3-point shot, right? That's what we start teaching these advanced trainings. It's this ongoing process. And that's what's so fun about this. And all these training sessions, all these workshops are free. We don't charge you anything for these. And here's just a thought for you. You might say, charge me. You understand, like you go to school, like you pay tuition to learn the stuff that we teach you. Did you know that tomorrow I'm going to show you how to get college credit to apply to get up to 3 credit hours this semester just by going through this training? Think about that. My wife got 9 credit hours through college working with our company. We have USF students all the time getting college credit just by going through and working with our company. Ashley Paredes this spring was able to use us for an internship this past spring so she can graduate. And you pay thousands of dollars in tuition, and all of this is free for you. So take it seriously, treat it well. So that's kind of how training is going to unfold. So I want to just give you a couple of my keys to success to really make the most out of the opportunity, and then we'll take our first break. So a couple of keys to success real fast. First key to success. Number 1 is a positive attitude. Positive attitude, positive expectation. Positive attitude, positive expectation. What do I mean by that is is what I mean by positive expectation. I mean, like if you're going to go date someone, you got to expect that they're going to be a good person. If you expect that person to cheat on you, that's going to create a little bit of a different dynamic in the relationship. So if you go into this job expecting to fail, if you go play baseball and you expect to get hit by the pitch, if you go in a relationship, expect it to not go well, you're probably right. See, I firmly believe that life happens twice. Life happens up here and then it happens out there. So what we think about, we bring about. And I highly recommend you to go through this training with a positive attitude, positive expectation. It's not a question of if I succeed. It's a matter of how much am I going to succeed? How fast am I going to succeed? It's not if, it's when. It's not if people buy, it's how much. It's not if they give me recommendations, it's how many, right? And it's just expectations. It creates those reality. And when you can adopt that, not just with Cutco, but anything in life, it's going to help you have a lot more success in whatever it is that you're doing. So positive attitude, positive expectation, probably the most important principle of being successful in sales and in business. When it comes to positive attitude and positive expectations, here's one of the things to keep in mind. My best sales representatives are my best sales reps for one reason, is they firmly believe that every single family should own a family set of Cutco. Hit me up on Zoom. Do you know anyone who owns Cutco? Or like, does anyone in your home own Cutco more specifically? I'm curious. Hit me up in the chat box. Hit me up here. I'm going to type in here. So hit me up in the chat box on Zoom. Do you know anyone who owns Cutco? And so Hannah's nodding her head ferociously. She said, my family did. Let me spotlight you, Hannah. Hannah, let me unmute you for a second. Hi, Hannah.
Hi.
Whoa, I'm digging the nose ring. That's cool. I didn't even notice that when you were small.
Thank you.
Yeah, did that hurt?
I don't think so.
It hurts me. That's great. I love it. So Hannah, so tell me, family owns Cutco. Who's that? Mom and dad or?
Mom, dad, my aunt does, but.
That's cool. So your mom and dad, do you live at home with your mom and dad right now?
No.
Okay. So you're not with them right now. Okay. So how long ago did your parents have Cutco? I'm curious.
I think like for the past 3 years, maybe 2 or 3 years.
Cool.
Sure.
Did you ever use them? Did you ever have or you're not really the cooker or?
I remember specifically like, I got all the hand-me-down, Pamper Chef knives or whatever. And anytime I went home, I think I remember distinctly one time I was trying to cut something. I was like, seriously? Like for everything I can use this? And I tell my parents about the job and stuff and they're like, did you know that Cutco is those knives that you always use at home? I was like,
that's cool. That's
great.
Cool. So how did you hear about the position? Do you have a friend that works with us or something or?
I got a message from somebody on Instagram.
Nice.
And I just kind of did my own research and stuff.
Very cool. What high school did you go to?
I went to Tina Grace in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. But you go to college here?
Yeah.
USF or UT or?
Yeah.
UT. Okay, awesome. Make sure you go visit Matt Batista.
Okay.
Are you in Tampa?
Yes, I am.
Cool. You got to go to the Career Center and introduce yourself to Matt Batista. He's the head of the career services over there. He's going to be your guy to try to help you get some college credit for doing this work.
Okay, awesome.
Cool. And he also owns Cutco too. So, and by the way, I guarantee he would do a demo for you. So I bet he would let you do an appointment with him too. And he'll buy some stuff because he likes me. So,
Awesome.
Cool. So thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it, Hannah. Welcome to the team. So let's see. We also have a lot of people in my family. So Herrick, man, I'm going to mess that up. Please help me out. Unmute yourself.
Cool. It's Harry Krishna, but people just call me Harry.
Is it, I could just call you Harry?
Yeah, that's cool.
Harry, that is amazing. Harry, can you change that, like change your name to that? So that way, or just put it in parentheses, just not at this second, just in parentheses at some point. That'd be awesome. And you can put your last name too, but Harry, so who your parents own Cutco or?
Yeah. So, same thing as Hannah, like our family, like I would go in the kitchen and I would cook and like, I would like cut tomatoes and stuff. And I told my parents about this and they were literally said the same thing. They're like, oh, all these knives that you were cutting with is Cutco.
That's cool. Do you live at home with your parents right now?
Yeah. I go to USF. It's down the road.
Cool. But you live at home. Are either of your parents home right now?
None of them are home right now. No.
Dude, here's the deal. When they get home,
Hmm.
I'll give you $5 if you can get one of your parents on Zoom to give a testimony, just like about how long they've had their knives and how, how much they like it. Just so, because there's some people that never heard of Cutco before, and I would love for them to just offer their opinion. Do you think you could do that?
Yeah, I mean, if they get home, yeah.
If they get home, either today or tomorrow, either one.
Yeah.
But just so that way, I'd love to spotlight them. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But that's cool. How'd you hear about us, Harry?
Yeah, same thing. I actually had someone slide up on Instagram and they told me about this.
Nice. What high school did you go to?
I went to Wiregrass Financial.
Okay, over in Wesley Chapel. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we have a bunch of students. So it's probably one of our students that work here from probably USF, I'd assume. But awesome. Well, I appreciate you chiming in, Harry. Thanks. And you have my you got my $5 waiting for you, man. So I'll Venmo it over. So get your parents. Cool. So we have a couple people, like Brianna said her grandparents own Cutco. Kayla said no, but we need them. I love it. So very cool. Karen has a family friend. So there's a bunch of you that have people that own Cutco. The reason why I bring that up, and the reason why this is important, is because when I sat in your chairs, I never heard of Cutco before. But when I started doing my appointments, my first appointment, my best friend's mom, I've been over their house. I slept in their bed. I showered in their shower. I swam in their pool. I ate dinner over their home. We went on family vacations together, and they've had Cutco for over 20 years. And I never knew. I never cared. Know why? Because I was 18 years old. Know what I cooked? I cooked a bowl of cereal. Like I can make a killer bowl of cereal. Maybe some mac and cheese, like that's the extent of cooking that I did. Peanut butter and jelly, right? So I never cared about knives. I didn't care about it. When I went over to my friend's house, we played video games. I wasn't in the kitchen. But when I started doing Cutco appointments, I started bumping into all of these moms who own Cutco. And I heard the same thing every single time. We love it. We use it every day. I love it. I use it every day. I love it. I use it every day. And the more you hear that, the more you hear, I love it. I use it every day, the more conviction you can get in your product line. And when you love your product, you want families to own it. You want them to have it. You want them to experience it. Because why? It makes life easier. It makes life more convenient. It's a no-brainer for a mom, for a family to have a good high-quality set of kitchen cutlery. So what separates my lower-end reps from my best reps when it comes to positive expectations is that my best representatives expect that every family gets one of these 3 family sets. If they love to cook, they're going to help that family get a large set of Cutco. If they hate to cook, but they got to cut stuff up, right? You can hate cooking, but you got to cut a rotisserie chicken that's already cooked for you. You can hate cooking, but they got to cut a tomato, slice it for the sandwich. You don't cook the watermelon, but you got to cut it up. So even if they hate cooking, but they got to cut some stuff up, they'll get one of our small family sets. And then of course we have a medium set that's in between. My best representatives, their expectation is that if they're sitting down with a family, that family will get one of these 3 sets. That's why they do so well. The other keys to success, I'll fly through these and we'll take our first break, is to help each other out. When we do our speed networking, when we do our role play session, you got to help each other out. I'll tell you, it's not tattletaling. It's not like, hey, if you have someone that's like a negative Ned or a negative Nancy or someone who's just like being obnoxious, you let your coaches know. We just don't tolerate it. We don't want to tolerate that we want to keep this the most professional. There's enough shitty things happening out in life that we want to keep this a haven of positivity. So keep it that way. Help each other out. Be a team player. Be supportive. Be encouraging. Give some virtual high fives, right? Same thing in the WhatsApp chat. So help each other out. Be a team player. Be responsible. When I give you homework, the homework assignments are not for me. They're for you. I did my homework 16 years ago. So the homework assignments are not for me. They're for you. Just be responsible. All you have to do, they're so simple. The homework is not easy. It's not hard. It just might take a little time. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. What was your homework from the interview? What was your homework? Watch this video. Respond to these, answer these questions, right? We're talking, most of your assignments are 5-10 minutes, but they're really important. Your homework is really, really critical for your success. So be responsible, get them done. Here's the thing. I'm going to pick on Hannah again because Hannah goes to University of Tampa, so that means she's smart. Okay. So Hannah would never do this, but I'm going to pick on Hannah. So Hannah would never do this. But let's say Hannah is really, really good at school. She knows how to finesse school. She knows how to do the minimum amount to get the maximum grade possible. Like if the professor gives her an assignment and the professor says, Hannah, we need this due on Friday next week, and today's Friday, she is so good at getting it done on Thursday night, the night before next Friday, right? Like she is so good at that. She has finessed it. She is an expert at finessing school. She could procrastinate to the last minute and then she could still get a good grade. And so she convinced herself, she's like, I'm just really good. I'm really good at procrastinating. I work great under pressure. Something like that, right? Now, I don't know if that's truth, but, no, Hannah's like, no, I'm really good at school, right? I don't finesse that shit. But here's the deal. With Cutco and business, you can't finesse it. Here's why. Because let's say Hannah wants to do 10 appointments this weekend and wants to position herself to make like $200-300. So today's Thursday. And let's say Thursday night, she's like, all right, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to look at my phone numbers. I'm going to organize my list. So that way I could book up all my appointments. So she goes sit down and organize her list. And she's like, it's been a long day of training. I'm just going to grab food. I'll do it tomorrow. So she puts it off to tomorrow. Then tomorrow rolls around. She has all this homework and stuff and the Friday morning. And then we have training all day. So now she didn't book up that appointment for Friday night. So she missed that one appointment slot on Friday night. So she's like, all right, Friday night, now I'll do my homework. I'll look up the numbers and I'll get my list organized Then her friends call her and say, Hannah, campus crawl, let's go. Friday night, Ebor, let's go. She's like, all right, I'll do my homework tomorrow morning. I'll wake up early. She stays out till 3 and then she wakes up at noon and she still doesn't have her appointments booked up because she procrastinated on Thursday night and then got distracted Friday night. So now she still doesn't have any of those 10 appointments. She still has to do her homework to look up the phone numbers and get her list organized. So she's like, all right, I'll sit down and do it now. So now it's noon on Saturday. She finally sits down to look up those numbers and she starts hitting the phone at 2:00 on a Saturday. Unfortunately, not everyone's answering the phone because it's 2:00 on a Saturday. So now it's like 4:00 on Saturday. She did 2 hours of work. She's still behind her goal. She only booked up 3 appointments. She's 7 away. Now it's Saturday night. She's like, shit, I have homework. I have all this other stuff to do. I still don't have my appointments to hit. What am I going to do? I'll wake up tomorrow morning. I'll do it. Tomorrow morning, she wakes up and she's like, shoot, professor emailed me. I got another exam. Crap. So now Sunday, she misses her goal. Then Monday, she doesn't get the paycheck she wanted. And Hannah calls me or calls her coach and says, this job is really hard. I don't know if I could do this job right now because it's overwhelming. Is the job overwhelming? No, it's how you approach the job that's overwhelming. So ladies and gentlemen, in Hannah's example, which Hannah would never do, in this example, you know how to finesse school. That's fine. But if you're here to do the minimum amount of work and try to finesse the job, I just ask you, I beg of you, whenever you say to yourself, you're going to do your work, just do it. That's all I ask. Because if Hannah would have just spent, how long would Hannah have, let's play the scenario. Let's pick on Hannah one more time. Ready? Let's say Hannah says Thursday night, I'm going to look up my phone numbers. So she spends 10 minutes of just looking at phone numbers and getting her names. And she's like, cool. And she just hits the phone for another 10 minutes and books up 5 of those appointments. She spent 20 minutes on Thursday night doing her homework. Now she has 5. Boom. Friday morning rolls around. She spends another 10 minutes and makes another round of phone calls and books up another few appointments. She books up 2 or 3 on Friday morning. And then during lunchtime on training, we'll give you a little bit of time tomorrow. She books up another 2 or 3 appointments. Now she has her 10. So these little 10-minute intervals, 10 minutes, she was able to get her work done. 10 minutes, instead of procrastinating, she executed and was able to get those appointments booked, which allowed her to get her results, which allowed her to make her $200-300 paycheck she wanted. And that's why we love this position. We love this position because it's going to teach you how to get better at business, at life, at school, in relationships, in everything. You think this is a knife selling job? Yeah, but it's really a student development. We're going to teach you how to develop real skills. And procrastination, I'm telling you, it's one of those things. It is the death of your success. Please, I beg of you, do not procrastinate on your work here. Not here. If you want to do that with school and finesse that shit, that's fine, but you cannot finesse this job. You're not good enough yet. Once you get good, hey, try to do it. But you're not good enough yet. Let's get you good. Okay. So whenever you say you're going to work, just do your work. That's all I ask of you. So be responsible, be a professional. We already talked about that. High communication, show up prepared, be ready to make calls, be ready to learn, and know the power of your product. I'm going to do an exercise with this after. But one of the things I want you to write down is this concept of BUNS. Buy once, use every day, never replace, saves money. Go ahead and write that down in your notes. Buy once, use daily, never replace, saves money. When I told my dad I was going to sell Cutco, he actually called me an idiot because now if you know my dad, it's not a surprise, but he called me an idiot because he's like, you don't know how to sell, you don't know how to cook, and everyone already has knives. He's like, you're an idiot, you're wasting your time. But so I wasn't equipped to explain the job to my dad very well. So when I did my demo for my parents and I told them that this product you could buy once, you could use it daily, you never have to replace it, and it will actually save you money. When I explained that to my dad, a light bulb went off in his head because here's what I did. I was at my house and I said, Mom, out of all these knives that we have in the kitchen, how many do you use? She said, well, I use this one. This one's my favorite. I opened up the kitchen knife drawers. We had 3 drawers in the kitchen with knives, and we had 2 blocks on the countertop. And I said, so Mom, out of all these knives, you use one. What happens when that one stops working? Because it's the only one that works right now. What happens when it stops working? She says, well, I go buy a new one. So I looked at my dad. I said, Dad, you don't have to buy Cutco for me today. I'm paid $15 just to do the appointment. But here's the thing. If you don't buy Cutco for me today, here's the future. Ready? $10, $10, $10, $10, $10, $10, $10. I open up the other knife drawer. $10, $10, $10. I said, Dad, if you don't buy Cutco today, that's fine. But you've already spent hundreds, if not over $1,000 on knives that don't even work. And Mom's still not done buying knives. So if you don't buy Cutco today, you're still going to have to waste money rebuying and replacing over and over again. Instead, if you decide that you want to buy Cutco, you could buy it once today. Mom could use it every day forever. You'll never have to replace it. And in a long run, it's actually going to save you money. So Dad, you should protect your buns and get Cutco. No, nobody? Not even a smirk? No, nothing? Courtesy chuckle? I'll tell you right now, those dad jokes are the freaking best, all right? Those dad jokes are the best, but all right, whatever. So here's the deal. The buns, though, buns, buy once, use daily, never replace, saves money. That, thank you, Jacayla. That is the move to help your customers become logical. This is not an emotion. People don't buy Cutco because it looks pretty. They buy Cutco because it makes sense. It's the only consumer product that we could think of that you could buy once, use daily, never replace, and it saves money. Car, buy once, use daily, you got to replace it. Computer, buy once, use daily, you got to replace it. TV, buy once, use daily, got to replace it. Couches, buy once, use daily, got to replace it. Bed, buy once, use daily, got to replace it. I mean, think of all the consumer products that are out there. So when I say know the power of your product, I'm saying know the power of buns. All right? Buy once, use daily, never replace, saves money. So to wrap up my opening comments and go to our first break, I have 2 objectives for you. My first objective is I want you to make a lot of money. I want you to make a lot of money. I want you to have big paychecks. If you check out our Instagram, you'll see people making $500, $1,000, $1,500 paychecks for 1 week. I want you to experience that. After our break, I'm going to review the pay program. I'm going to remind you, we got $15 for each appointment. You're guaranteed that. Even if they don't buy, I'm going to pay you literally just to do a kick butt presentation. But when they buy, you make more. I'm going to explain this to you. We're going to review this. We're going to review the pay program right after break. The second objective is I want you to get experience, meaningful work experience from the #1 company for students in North America. We were rated #1 by DECA, a very prestigious marketing club across the United States. Rated as Partner of the Year 2017. We're #1. I want to explain to you why we're #1. Why did USA Today rate us the number 12 best company in America to work for? Not best student company, right? The number 13 was Microsoft. Number 14 was Delta, Apple, Facebook, Google. These were all on that list. Why were we number 12? Why did Business Insider print an article that says successful people credit Cutco with teaching them business lessons that last for life? People featured in the CEO of Travis Kalanick, the CEO and founder of Uber. David Plouffe, President of Barack Obama's campaign manager. Daniel Tosh from Tosh.0. They all said the same thing. This was a great playground for them to learn practical business experience. Why were we rated on Comparably's top 50 list for culture, work-life balance, happiness, best company for CEO, women, best company for diversity? Why? If you go to Comparably, we have an A+ rating. Why? We have a program, it's called Cutco Through College. And Cutco Through College is an opportunity where someone can go through the program, they graduate from our program, and they get to go through what is called the Leadership Academy. And the Leadership Academy is an 8-month program where we teach our young people all the different types of skills that go behind time management, money management, the management of other people, the management of self, and the management of others. In 2019, we had our crew. 2020, well, we were practicing social distancing. We went to the beach, all right? We have a crew of people learning these skills. In fact, in our headquarters in Carrollwood, we have a bookshelf of a dozen and a half or 2 dozen authors of best-selling books that went through the Cutco Through College training. You may have heard of Norman Brinker, his book On the Brink with Norman Brinker. You may have eaten in one of his restaurants. Macaroni Grill, Burger King, Chili's, founded those restaurants. Guess what he did when he was selling Cutco? Or guess what he was doing in college? Selling Cutco. People like Hal Elrod. I would Google that guy's name. He has a community of over 250,000 people on Facebook called The Miracle Morning. His book is over $1 million sold, 1 million copies sold worldwide. People bring him in to speak and they pay him $30,000 to speak. John Vroman is rated America's #1 college speaker. Colleges bring him in to speak to their students. Cutco Through College. Rachel Richards, Money Honey, over 600 5-star ratings on Amazon. She just retired at age 28 because she created passive income where she can have her money work for her and teaches financial principles. Cutco Through College. So to what Lindsay said is we want each of you to graduate from college as a 5-star college graduate. A 5-star high school graduate is the kid that all the colleges are coming after that kid. A 5-star college graduate is where all the companies are coming after you to interview you. They're banging down your door to say, hey, I want to work with you. So to wrap up my opening comments, my formula for success, if you forget everything I teach you, these are the few items that I want you to really focus in on. Best 5, first 5, read, smile, call, and 10 by 10 by 10. You do these 3 things, you will get off to a good, fast start. Best 5, first 5. What does that mean? We're going to dig into that a little bit after the break. But best 5 appointments, first 5 appointments. Read the training manual we're going to give you. Smile and have a lot of enthusiasm, have a lot of fun, and call your coach for a deal. And 10 by 10 by 10 is 10 appointments between Friday night and Monday night, 10 appointments between Tuesday and Friday, and 10 appointments between next Saturday and next Monday. You do that 10 by 10 by 10, that's 30 appointments in 10 days. That's an average of 3 a day. You read, smile, call. You see your best 5, first 5 for confidence and momentum. You will position yourself to have a 10K fast start. Because if you do 3 appointments in a day, you're positioned where you could have 3 people buy a day. Our average order is about $350. That positions you to have a $1,000 day, which positions you to have a 10K fast start, which positions you to earn $2,000 in 10 days, get $2,000 in free Cutco, be at 30% commissions for life, get on the newsletter, open up a door for the Leadership Academy, get on Mr. Andrew Evans' radar, position yourself to qualify for the all-inclusive trip to a tropical location in the spring, qualify for the VIP night where we celebrate you and your success, and the amount of confidence you'll have of achieving 4 pay raises in your first 10 days is going to be incredible. So, ladies and gentlemen of the training class, if you got some light bulbs, if you learned some things, if you heard some things that you liked, post those light bulbs in your coaching, into your group chat. And we're going to transition into our first break. We're going to transition into our first break. Now, you could stay on Zoom, so we don't have to let you back in from the waiting room. So you could just stay on Zoom during the break. Just shut your video off if you like. But let me give you some instructions. I have some important things that you need to get done during this break. So real simple stuff. The first thing I need you to get done is I need you to download an app called Q. You're going to download Q. So it's get-q.com, Q-U-E-U-E. Okay? You're going to get Q, and you're going to download the app. Now, once you download the app, you're going to register to our Tampa office. Okay? You're going to register to the Tampa office for the app. How it looks, you click here where it says Rep Sign Up, and then you find Manager. You're going to search me, and you're going to click Tampa, not Tampa PR, Tampa, not Tampa PR, Tampa, not Tampa PR, Tampa. Right? All right, cool. You're going to click on Tampa. That's what you're going to do. So these are your assignments during this break. You have 15 minutes. Enjoy. Grab a snack, use the restroom. But if you haven't done any of this stuff yet, I just need you to download the app and register. But verify the email if you haven't. Join your WhatsApp group if you haven't. Download and register Q, and then fill out that Better to Know You sheet. We're going to start up at 4:10 with speed networking, and then we're going to dig into reviewing the pay. Enjoy your break, everybody. I'm going to turn on some tunes, and then I'll pull that back up on the screen.